Hey everyone! So today I'm going to start a series on my channel. It's going to be the Storytime series where I sit down and tell you a story of whatever I choose to tell you a story of. Today's topic is going to be about how my bunny that I had to get put down. Just basically the whole spiel of what happened. So three Saturdays ago, we were on the hunt for rats. We already have a chinchilla, and the cage that he came in was legitimately a bunny cage, and it was very small for him because chinchillas require a lot of space and a lot of like different levels in their habitat, so that way it's more like them living in the wild rather than in a cage because they have all the different places to hop. So we upgraded his cage and we had that old one. So we were like, all right, let's get rats. I really want like a pair of rats because they're really, really cute and intelligent creatures, and I'm an animal person, so it doesn't take me much to decide to get another creature. So we were looking, and we called like every pet store in the city, and we went to multiple pet stores. We went like back and forth across town, and no one had any. And we found out that it was because the breeder who breeds fancy rats stopped breeding them, so therefore, like, all the pet stores are out. So we're like, all right, well, what the hell? Because we really wanted to get some rats that day. But we ended up at a pet supplies and they had bunnies, and Tyler was like, we should get a bunny. We already have a cage. We have everything else. And it took me like 2 seconds to say, all right, let's get one. And he was like, really? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. So we picked out this really cute little black bunny, and her name is Luna. And she, we were just so excited because I've always wanted a bunny growing up. I remember, like, in second grade, I think my teacher had a bunny in the class at all times, and we got to interact with it. And I had just always wanted a bunny, but my parents were not so fond of me getting any type of pet. Like, we already had cats, and that was by luck. And then I got a mouse at one point when I lived at home, but the mouse didn't live very long. Probably my fault, but anyways, it was a feeder mouse. It's not the end of the world. But so we got a bunny, and we got this little bunny, Luna. And we literally, like, I went all out and got everything that it needed: a hide house, toys, chew toys, food, hay. We got fresh veggies for her to eat. And we had gotten her on a Saturday, and like, I want to say like Thursday, she started grinding her teeth kind of loudly. And mind you, before I get any animal, I always do my research and I do everything that I can to make sure that I know everything that I can about this animal. That way I can properly care for it. So I knew that teeth grinding wasn't a good sign, and I was like, well, there's like a teeth grinding that kind of sounds like their version of purring, and then there's also teeth grinding when they're in pain, and that's kind of what it started to sound like. And then Friday, for sure, I noticed that she wasn't really moving at all. She just stayed in one part of her cage and like didn't use her hide house, and I just started to get like super concerned. And we'd take her out like every day. We waited like 2 days to take her out of her cage to like hop around and explore because we wanted to get her used to the environment that she was in. And when we would get her out, she wouldn't really move a whole lot either. And then she would be like all hunched up in one spot. Her eyes wouldn't open all the way. And I got really concerned at that point, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm calling the vet tomorrow because there's something wrong. And I called the vet. There's only one, well, I don't know if it's for sure, but I know that there's one exotic pet veterinarian nearby, and that's the one that I went to. I called them because they were open 8 to noon on Saturdays, so I called them at like 8:05 to give them time to open, but nobody answered, and I got the like, I don't know what's it called. The Basically, I got a voicemail for after hours. So I left a message, gave them like all my info to call me back. I waited a full hour to hear from somebody because I figured that they would have gotten back to me, and nobody called, so I was like, all right, I'm calling back. So I called back at like 9:15, and I got a hold of somebody, an actual person, told her what was going on, what I was concerned about, and we got her in. They looked at her, and the first thing that the vet was really concerned about was her belly. I guess it was too big, or it was bigger than it should be. And she said, you know, things could get pricey, so these are your options. And we basically had the option to get the bunny looked at right away and then have to deal with prices that could cost a lot, and I only had like $100 to spend. Or take the bunny back to the pet store, get a refund, and they'll bring the bunny back to the vet. That way the bunny is in their ownership, and that if there's like anything wrong, they can take care of treatment and everything. She was like, there's no guarantee that you'll get the bunny back. So like that was like right there when she said that, I was like, oh, okay. Like that just kind of crushed me a little bit. But then she said the only reason we wouldn't get the bunny back is if something bad happened or there was sign of abuse, which there wasn't. We went back to the pet store, did the refund, and the same people that were there the week before were there again, so they were like, oh yeah, we'll vouch for you and everything, and they immediately left to take care of the bunny. And then the pet store said, yeah, you guys can call us later and we can let you know what's going on. So we went home, sad, and they called at like 4 something. Like we didn't even have a chance to call them. They called back first and told us that the bunny was so sick that there was no point in treatment, so they euthanized the bunny. And I was like, oh, all right. And then he said a bunch of other things, but at that point I couldn't really hear what he was saying because I was so focused on the fact that like that poor bunny was so sick that there was nothing that they could do. And that tells me that the bunny was already sick coming into the pet store. And the thing is that they had said that bunny, or like they had just gotten bunnies in that day that we had purchased the bunny. So I'm thinking that maybe the bunny literally just came in, they had no time to look it over for that kind of stuff, and we got a sick bunny. And it's sad because it was a pretty young bunny and it was already sick. But yeah, that's what happened, and I didn't want to like replace the bunny right away because I felt like that was kind of rude or like mean to Luna, but I kept thinking about the empty cage that we had just sitting there, and it was literally killing me, so we went to get another bunny that day. And now we have another bunny, and this one looks way different from Luna. This one is white with like cute little gray splatches here and there, and I'll post a picture of her. And her name is Miyuki. And Miyuki is a name from Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's the cat. I don't remember like what season or anything they show him in, but it's a cat from the Earth Kingdom named Miyuki. It's a white cat, and Miyuki means beautiful snow, deep snow, beautiful fortune. So I was like, all right, that name fits pretty well because we want a healthy bunny. We want, this bunny's white. It kind of looks like snow. So, and this bunny is for sure healthy. Like, I'll make another video soon about her in general, but she is very healthy, and it's very obvious because she does everything a happy bunny is supposed to. And it's been almost 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks this weekend since we've had her, so pretty hopeful. But yeah, that's my story about poor little Luna. Yeah, so I will talk to you guys soon, but thank you for watching, and thanks for listening to me blabber. Alright, bye.